Good question. Wayne points out that white has a wall. This is true, but it's not a strong wall. The Aji stone is C6. Even though white's not weak, there's a serious chink in the armor, and it's hard to develop. It's hard to use that as a real wall. Let's use a brief like if white does this. Well, black can just escape. And white didn't end up getting very much. So hard to develop the left with the weakness around A. Back to the game. Ordinary Joseki. Square for black. I like white, not only the stones, but also the person. Great guy. Lower right approach. Shygost says A. C10. Maybe you mean C instead of B? B's nothing. But let's look at the C option. C10 I think is pretty important. Both players want to play on the left. I completely disagree with Hadlar. I think the left is the smallest place on the board. I think top's bigger, bottom's bigger, right's bigger. And since I'm the teacher, I get to be right. Okay. So So on the left, both players are low and finished. So no one has any need whatsoever to play there. So let's look at the other three areas. Let's start by comparing the, well, someone tell me the characteristic on top. What makes it good or bad on top? What makes it big or small? Low, that's part of it. Low and finished. Low finished groups don't have any more needs. So J17 being low and finished means white has no interest to play in on top. The bottom, black's already there, so it's hard for white to develop. If black continues, we already know that there's a weakness here. Hard to develop the bottom when you have a weakness. Again, E3 isn't the spot you choose to attack, but that's the move I choose to show the weakness. We would play perhaps here, setting up for a move like this. Okay, so indeed black plays aside the right side figures. Again, the bottom is smaller than the right, so white pinches. A number of things to look at here. Let's just we'll watch black play 03. Okay, so now we have a big decision. White. Separate or take the position. For me, this would be a hard choice. Let's look at the two differences. Okay, white gets Sente to play away. I like that. On the other hand, black can live here anytime he wants. Not that it bothers white, it's not that big, but it's not that white really has anything here. It's not practical. The two bottom groups the two black groups on the bottom, they're both low, but they're not inefficient. The bottom is not low because they're far enough apart. They can be treated separately. I mean, the thing that would make the bottom low is this kind of experience. This is just pitifully low and disgusting, right? That's what we want to stay away from, is linking things together at a distance with low moves. But if instead we work this way, that could turn in much nicer. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So black gets profit on the bottom. White doesn't necessarily get profit, but gets sente. But there's no urgent place to use the sente. The other idea is to separate, knowing there's that weakness here. Build a wall, getting ready to use the weakness. That sounds nice. So white goes this way. And a couple different options. White uses this option, takes the sente right away. Okay, square for white. Huge wall. H3. Big move. Any other ideas? J3. Any other ideas? R14. Well, I have no idea what that means. Doesn't say it's in the wall. Okay, so far I'm only getting A and B. Between A and B, it must be A. B is a terrible move, A a good move. A is a two-purpose move. White A threatens black. B doesn't threaten anybody. So between the two, it must be A. So we'll just leave A on the board. Yes, it's white's move. So nobody has much ideas. We just get A is the only idea we got. So let's take another crack at this. If we wanted to find white's move, how would we go about it? How would we figure out white to play? Now, of course, this is the way we should find all our moves, but it's very difficult. About 14 again. Okay. The way, everyone seems to be missing this, so let's go to the list. We, as white, ask ourselves, how are my groups? Well, my B group is fine, C group is fine, D group is fine, E, well, not a group, just a stone. You've also done this before, let's just clarify. So, on this board, how's white? You've all seen me do this before. White is perfectly fine. White has zero weaknesses of any consequence whatsoever. The L10 stone is completely meaningless. Just treat it like it doesn't exist, unless we can use it for a ladder or something later. So, we want to know about our groups and our important stones, not our unimportant stones. Okay, so getting back to the board position.